I'm your boy, right?
Hey everyone, I'm Keisha.
I'm Claire.
And we're here to talk about TVLine's sexiest scenes of the year.
Now, all of the shows on this list have been chosen by Team TVLine. Me and Keisha have seen most of these shows, but we are visiting some of these sexy scenes for the first time, and we can tell you, we know why they were picked.
Yes, starting with Queen Charlotte, because George and Charlotte, they were so insanely hot in this scene.
You are breathtaking.
It is pretty, but it has 1,000 tiny buttons.
And then George says,
He says, say it, Keisha.
I'm very good with buttons.
Oh!
I'm very good with buttons.
We all died.
Okay, I died. The steam level on that scene alone could power 1 million New York dry cleaners. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And you know, it could have ended there, but it just keeps going. Oh my gosh, they're in the bedroom. Wow, stunning, stunning, minute after minute. Thank you, Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes knows what we want and delivers every time. And this is the best example of that.
Okay, now let's get into 1923, a show that did make TVLine's list, but neither of us have seen it.
Who knew 1923, the Yellowstone verse, could be so sexy?
Seems I want to show you something actually means I found a new place to ravage you.
You noticed that?
Seriously, and I didn't know people in 1923 like had sex.
Claire.
I'm just saying, I didn't know it got so steamy in 1923. I thought people were really bundled up. I thought there were a lot of clothing items, but we saw two nearly naked people frolicking in the ocean. I thought this was like an old man dad show, okay? My dad should not watch this show. Don't.
I was not prepared for the nudity, but even that could not distract from like Spencer's gruffy voice as he's calling her darling.
Darling, stop talking.
Oh my God, the darling.
Darling.
And then when she kept saying, ravage me, I don't even know what that means. Oh my God.
I have interrupted your ravaging. Please carry on.
Next up on the list is another one of our favorites, Abbott Elementary.
No, really, you should smell this one. It smells so good.
That kiss, man, Janine and Gregory.
That kiss proves that a steamy scene does not need to be sex, does not need to have nudity, okay? When they kissed the one time and then they draw apart and then Janine pulls Gregory back in by the lanyard.
That aggressive pull was just, it felt like the floodgates were opening and their passion was just running free for that moment. It was so, I've been anticipating this for 2 seasons now, right? A season and a half at least.
Janine wants to ravage Gregory.
I found a new place to ravage you.
It's too bad they brushed it off as, you know, being caught in the moment, because what a moment.
The kiss, that was a whoops.
They're gonna do it again, right?
Let's hope. Speaking of passionate moments, we have to get into Spencer and Olivia on All American, and that dance, honey, that dance was everything.
Yes, and on stage too, to be so passionate and other people are watching, I could never imagine.
That deep look into each other's eyes like there was no one else in that room, nobody on stage, nobody in the audience, it was just them. It was so intimate. Also, shout out to Thames, the Nigerian singer. That's the song that was playing in the background, and she's just perfect for that. Very sensual. I'm a fire. Okay, so they have all this chemistry on stage. Meanwhile, the camera zooms in on Spencer's girlfriend.
If I were sitting in the audience and that is my boyfriend up there dancing like that with another woman who's not me, I'd be pissed.
That dance would not have finished if that were me in the audience.
It would have been a euphoria moment.
Oh, this bitch needs to be put down.
Next up is a TVLine favorite, Higgins and Magnum from Magnum PI, in a scene where they went undercover as lifeguards and gave us the Baywatch moment we wanted.
A major Baywatch moment, a slow-mo walk across the sandy beach.
And I totally appreciate the use of I Ain't Worried by One Republic, because that's the same song they used for Top Gun Maverick.
Now let's get into The Last of Us, that beautiful touching scene between Bill and Frank.
Love will abide. Take things in stride.
Okay, so I had never seen The Last of Us before this, and what a lovely, charming introduction to the show. I thought it was all scares, but this was so not that.
Sounds like good advice, but there's no one at my side.
Yeah, no scares, just sweetness. The two of them were so beautiful, and watching them fall in love.
So, who's the girl? Girl you're singing about?
There is no girl.
But I do take umbrage with the fact that Frank tells Bill to go take a shower right after they kiss, Keisha. If someone tells me to go take a shower right after we kiss, no thank you.
Go take a shower, Bill.
Next up is Law and Order, Organized Crime, Benson, and Stabler. Listen, we've had 20 years of foreplay, so I will take whatever I can get. And this moment gave me a little something, something.
But it makes me question myself because I'm like, why was it so hot? It was quite violent.
Yes, because Olivia got shot. Stabler got tear gassed, so he couldn't see.
Can't see. Can't see.
I can.
And it's the most sensual, quick moment. Can we consider that foreplay? Because it felt like foreplay to me.
Keisha, that is foreplay. Yeah, they went home after that, and that wasn't the end of it, okay? We know. That was off camera. Just the fact that their sexual chemistry can overpower such like a graphic, scary scene, that says something about these actors.
And also how thirsty we are.
True, it says more about us than it does about them.
And now let's get into Brianna and Roger from Outlander, because this is the first time I've ever thought that Roger was hot.
I've never seen this show, I will say, but this scene, I need to watch this show. The way that Roger flipped open her shirt in like one little, like he just flicked it to the side and I was like, oh, and then it just kept going. And then it became primal, as they said.
I'm feeling a little more primal.
Oh my God.
And what really made this sexy was the possessiveness and just the dominance. We've never seen Roger like this, speaking in that deep voice.
I know the modern man isn't supposed to be possessive.
Keisha, you love a deep guttural voice.
You notice that?
I felt that in my gut. I'm ashamed to admit that, but I did. And that's the first time Roger has ever evoked those feelings from me. And with Phil Collins in the background, listen, he makes sexy music. I don't care what anyone says. Phil Collins, he knows how to set a mood.
Okay, now let's get into The Summer I Turned Pretty.
You still.
Yes. Yes, I still.
The moment when Belly and Jeremiah make out very aggressively in front of a car outside in public.
Okay, so I'm not normally a Belly Jeremiah person. I'm team everybody get therapy. But I will say they had some chemistry in this scene. Like, you could see they were free and they were really into each other. And there was that connection.
Were they even acting? They were so into it, both of them. I believed it. So that was the best acting they did all season. There's a moment where like Jeremiah's grabbing her neck or something. I'm like, dude, chill. Oh, you're outside. It was so steamy.
It's like you had to turn away a little bit. Like, am I interrupting something?
Yes. Well, and we know that Conrad did.
Conrad, no. Please don't stop. I'm clearly the one who is interrupting you.
Riverdale and sexy usually don't go in the same sentence, in my opinion, except for season 1, that was pretty hot. But I will say this scene where Archie and Betty are doing their window strip teases to each other, that was kind of hot.
Keisha, I feel like this was like if that Taylor Swift song, You Belong With Me music video was like X-rated. Beautiful people, taking off their clothes, strip tease. I loved it.
Archie, sexy, who knew?
Betty, what in the actual hell is going on here?
Now let's get into the final steamy scene from TV this year, and it is from Fellow Travelers between Hawk and Tim.
I literally had to pause and gather myself several times because this was just so much in 30 short seconds.
It really was. I believe it all began when Tim was like, I'm your boy.
I'm your boy, right?
I'm your boy.
Okay,
I was
so
like, ah!
the whole thing is that,
his boy.
okay, so Tim is trying to convince Hawk to let him accompany him to this party.
Wow. And your boy wants to go to the party.
How much does he want to go?
I think Tim made a very strong case.
Suppose I could loan you a tie and a top coat.
Let's just put it out there. We all already know this, but they're both so hot.
Open up.
Licking someone's toe is not usually something I'm like, wow, that was so hot. They're both so beautiful that it was like so hot. I said hot like 1,000 times.
I'm sorry, when he shoved his foot in his mouth, I kept thinking, but did he walk on the bare floor with that beforehand?
Really? Because I didn't have a thought in my mind. I was just like...
Oh, Jesus.
So that was a lot, but also it was just enough.
Just enough for us. But if you want more, head to TVLine for the full list of this year's steamiest TV scenes. I'm Claire.
I'm Keisha.
Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.